Is Cardano ever going to re-break its all-time highs, or is it going to go straight to zero? Where are the major levels of support and where are the major levels of resistances? Where should we be looking to buy and where should we be looking to sell? Those are the main things that we're going to be going over in this video. So don't go anywhere. Let's go ahead and like and subscribe and we're going to dive right in. So on this chart, as you guys can see, this is the all-time price chart for Cardano. You have the USDT pairing as well as the BTC pairing. On this video, we're going to be doing what's called a top-down analysis. And what that means is we're going to be going over all the major key levels of support and resistances so where we can try to establish where the major levels of support and resistances for this chart. Now, the first thing you may be asking yourself is, what is Cardano? Well, this is not the video for you guys because in my technical analysis, I only focus on what the charts tell me, and I completely ignore all the news and fundamentals behind that coin to keep me completely biased. And so I can only use data, raw data, to make decisions. Now, there are other people who are much more qualified than me to give you information regarding the actual ecosystem or the news and the fundamentals and all the crazy things that this project has going on. However, in this video, I will not be covering that. We are only going to look at the charts, but the charts give us all the information that we could ever ask for if you know where to look. So make sure to have your own ADA chart pulled up, and we're going to go ahead and dive right in on this. So I'm going to get rid of everything on here and have a completely fresh chart. So like I told you guys, you have the BTC pairing and you also have the USDT pairing. These are both very important, and each one gives you a slightly different information. But you need to be fully aware of what's happening on both charts. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is I'm actually going to be starting over here on the BTC pairing. So this is giving you the ratio on what the price is doing relative to Bitcoin. Okay, that's a very important indicator to be looking at. The first thing I want to do is I want to figure out where the golden pocket is on this chart, right? I want to look at the Fibonacci extension. We're going to go over here and we're going to draw it from the very bottom. Let's do it right here up to the very top. Okay. So as you guys can see right now, this is the overall extension that we had from 2020 up to 2022. Now we have retraced all the way down here. We did get a good pump off the golden pocket. It was a nice pump. We almost got to 382. However, we have fallen beneath it, retested from the downside, and continue back down. This is not a healthy structure regarding the Fibonacci retracements. If you are expecting new all-time highs, you really don't want to be falling beneath the golden pocket. But it still happened, absolutely. But just understand this level right here is a very significant resistance. As you guys can see, we are currently inside of it. So the golden pocket has a lot of there's a lot of price act like this level acts as a major level of support or resistance depending upon where you're coming at it from. So right now it should act as a major level of resistance. So we're going to go ahead and annotate that. This is going to be golden pocket, right? And this is between the 618 to 702. I include the 702. Not everyone does. A lot of people only go from the 618 to 65, but I go ahead and include the 702 as well because there is a lot. It is also a very significant level as well. So there's that, and this is going to be a red block because it is a resistance. We're going to go to the USDT pairing and do the exact same thing. So as you guys can probably already assume, we are well beneath the golden pocket zone, which of course is not great. Okay, so this is the overall structure. As you guys can see, we have fallen all the way beneath it. Again, this is the golden pocket. And if we are to get back up here, you're expecting this to be a major level of resistance. So, all right, that's that. So now what we're also going to do is we're going to be doing a retracement of this structure down. Just like how we did the structure up, you can also do it from the top down. So this is going to be the start of the impulsive movement downward. This is the end of the impulsive movement down. So we once again have a golden pocket right up here. So we're going to go ahead and annotate that. Now, realistically, if we are able to get a pump, this is the most likely area that we are going to get the most resistance. Let's go ahead and annotate that. Golden pocket. We'll just call it that for now. Fine. Okay, and we're going to go back over here to USDT pairing and the exact same thing. So if we are able to get a retracement up to these levels, this would be a major, major, major level of resistance. All right, awesome. Done here. Okay, great. So we have all that annotated. Now, there are other key levels as well. Each one of these Fibonacci levels does act as some sort of resistance, but the most important one is right here, and that's what we're really covering in today's video. Go ahead and get rid of the Fibonacci tool. All right, awesome, guys. So the next thing we're going to go over is we're going to be looking for any sort of major breakers that are going to be on this chart. So breakers are a period where you have a downtrend or an uptrend, okay? Like you have this massive downtrend, right? But whenever you have a fight back, this right here is called a breaker. So it goes down, it struggles right here to continue, it consolidates, and then it continues back down. So this right here is a breaker, and breakers are very, very important. Now, the problem is with this is we've already had price action that has already happened in between here. So this is no longer valid. So instead, we'll be looking right there. So this right here is a key breaker. Okay, and again, it's resistance, so it's red. Weekly, weekly, weekly. Now, this right here, actually a really solid level, but since we're back above it and we close back above it, this is now going to act as a major support level. So this is actually a really, really good buying opportunity if we can come back down in there. So this right here is a very, very major level. What else do we have? I don't like that much. Not really. All right, cool. I think that's basically on the weekly time frame. Let's go to the monthly as well. See if we have anything else. Ooh, there we go. That's a very clean one. So we do have a very clean monthly breaker right here. A red resistance block. And as you guys can see, we also have one right here. We have not closed back above it. So technically, we are still inside this region because if you were to draw this out, and you guys can see, we are inside this major resistance level. And until we get back above it, this is a major resistance. So right now, we are actually at a major level of resistance. Now, it is a monthly level, which means it's very strong, but we have a lot of room to move in between here. And it's not that it's a very strong level, but it could take a very long time to actually play out. So just be aware of that. I'm actually going to get rid of it for now. I think. No, I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I think I'm going to keep it up there, guys. And I'm going to get rid of this, actually. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this golden pocket because realistically, we have this. It's going to override it, and it's already being interacted with. So we're going to get rid of that. Just make it a little cleaner on here. So this is a major level of resistance, and we're in it right now. Go to the USDT pairing, do the exact same thing. So as you guys can tell, even though it's the same price action, because we're on the BTC pairing, we had this massive spike. It's different because this is based off the USDT pairing, not off the Bitcoin pairing. So just be aware on that. All right, so same thing, major levels. Let's go to the monthly first. There's one right here. Very important. And look where it also coincides with, the golden pocket. So just like the other one, we're going to get rid of this. So this level right here is a major, major, major level of resistance. So if we're able to come back up here to around $1, this will be a very important level to be looking to sell on. Let's go to the weekly. Already covered right here, right? And we also have right here, okay? You guys can see when you get up to the golden pocket region, so the main levels of resistance that we have is right here at $1 and up here at the golden pocket region. There's also this cluster. Let's see if we can find a better, more localized. Okay, I like this one a lot. This 3-day level, actually very important. Let's go ahead and annotate. Now, the reason why is because if you go to the lower time frame, you guys can see we formed this breaker, came back up here, tested it, and tested it. Both times failed. They confirm it as a major resistance. So if we're able to come back up here again, you would imagine this would be a major level of resistance once again. So that's basically what we'd be looking for if we're able to get above here. So if we can get above this this dollar region, come back up here, I'd expect a lot of resistance right at this region. All right, awesome. What else we got? I think that's basically everything there. Now let's look at support levels. There's actually a major support right down here. This is a monthly. So right down here between 8 cents and 13 cents is a very key level. And if you go to the weekly time frame, right here is also a very important. And these are support levels, so we're going to make them green. So essentially, if the price falls down into this region and we start showing some bullish market structure, this would be a really good opportunity to go long in this region between 34 cents and around 37 cents. Now, when you are looking at these lower time frames and you have this massive spike up here, but you really want to localize and get more precision on what's going on, switch over to the log chart. The log chart will give you a lot better charts you can work with. So you can see as well, we have a little bit of a consolidation cluster right here as well. But basically, I'm pretty content with what I see right now. So we have this level. We do have some consolidation right here. And right here. So between 34 and 38 cents, between 15 and 16 cents, and again between 8 cents and 13 cents. Those are our key levels of support that we should be looking at to try to add some back into. Now, the next thing we're going to go over is right here, this blue line. I'm going to make this blue line actually bigger to make it more obvious. The moving average 200. Let's go to the style. Let's increase this sucker up a bit because the 200 moving average is actually very important. All right, perfect. So the 200 weekly moving average. This is a similar level to what happened back on Bitcoin, right? I'm sure you guys are probably aware we're now trading below the 200 weekly moving average on Bitcoin. So same thing's happening here, except we're actually much further beneath it because we have just closed one candle underneath it so far on Bitcoin. However, we've already closed 1, 2, 3 weekly candles beneath the weekly 200 moving average. So if you are to come back up here again, this weekly 200 moving average, you would expect it to act as a major resistance level. Okay, so if we are to come back up here, imagine that 54, 55 cents would be a major level of resistance. And I'm going to bet, go ahead and annotate that. Horizontal line right there. I'm going to bet if we go to low time frame, look at that. Look at the interaction we've had on that level. You guys see that? It acted as a major resistance. Support, fell through, act as resistance, and then fell back through. So if we are to come back up here again, we would expect that this would act as a major resistance once again. All right. So be very aware where the 200 weekly moving average is at. It is a extremely important level, and right now we're beneath it, which is definitely a big win for the bears. Okay, that is a major win for the bears. Now, if we start doing this, we reject off of it, get back above it, and we confirm a support, something like that, right? That would be extremely bullish, guys. That would be something that it'd be surprising for one, but it would also be very bullish. If you come back up here, get above it, get back up, you guys can see there is nothing in between here all the way up to $1. So if you are able to reclaim the 200 weekly moving average, I would absolutely expect the price essentially to teleport right up here, in which case this would be our first major level of resistance, in which case you probably do something like this, either reject harshly or consolidate, 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 bust above, retest, continue back up to the next level. Where's the next level? Right up here, right? You guys see how that works? This is essentially what you're looking at when you're doing any price action like this and trying to just find those trades. So, all right, so I think that makes sense on the weekly 200 moving average. Let's go ahead and look at the daily as well, see where that's at. Another very important one. And the daily 200 moving average is actually right around this major resistance block as well. So if we can get above the weekly 200 moving average, the next key level is going to be right around that big resistance block. Now, of course, this moving average is going to be moving downwards, right? It's moving like this, slowly rounding off. So wherever that daily 200 moving average is, expect it to also act as a major level of resistance. All right. So just be aware of that. Now we're going to go to the 4-hour, and the 4-hour is also very significant. You guys can see that this trend line right here is very important. Okay. 4-hour 200 moving average, it's not as respected as well as the daily or the weekly 200 moving averages, but the 4-hour is a very significant one, and there's a lot of getting above here would be a major win for the bulls and would be a starting point to start basing off of. So as long as we're beneath it, bearish, right? But if we start doing this, expect some pretty aggressive movements, right? Let me show you an example real quick of what happens if you actually can get above 4-hour 200 moving average, okay? Here's a great example. This is band, okay? This is a trade that I was able to get into. As soon as we were able to bust above this 4-hour 200 moving average, because you see we rejected it, rejected it, rejected it. When I saw it push above here aggressively, I entered into an immediate trade on it, and I got in around 190, and I was able to ride it all the way up to about $2 or $2.40. Okay, so because we got above that 200 moving average, you can see how aggressive it was. Okay, same sort of thing can happen with Cardano if we're able to get above it. So now, as you guys can see, we were able to hold above it, hold above it, hold above it. However, when Bitcoin crashed, Band was not able to hold it, and it actually lost it. And once we lost the 4-hour 10 moving average, you guys can see the aggressiveness of this drop cannot be understated. Right? We had a 30% drop in price once we lost the 4-hour 200 moving average. So on ADA, if we get above it, super bullish. However, until we get above there, we have got to use a ton of caution. So this is our first level of major resistance that has to get reclaimed before we can become really bullish on this coin. All right, awesome. Let's go to the BTC pairing as well, do the exact same thing. So, where are we at right now, guys? This is the daily 200 moving average, and we can see we have been pushing against it for 1, 2, 3, 4, again, 5 days. It has constantly been rejected. Ooh, big sign. All right. We've been constantly rejected right here as we're trying to get above it, and we just can't get above it, right? So if we can get above it, we can expect be pretty aggressive, right? And where would we be targeting on this? Probably the next resistance level, right? That's what we already mapped out before. And that's basically how this works, guys. So this is a monthly level. Yep, monthly level. So if we get above the 200 moving average, the next level we're looking at is right here. Okay. Now this is a Bitcoin pairing chart, so it doesn't entirely map out like exactly. It's a little harder to trade this, but essentially as the price starts rising into there, okay, you got to be aware of what's happening on the USD pairing, and if we do pop up here, then then you can start selling off a bit. Basically, how that works. All right, so let's go to the weekly. See where we're at. The weekly 200 moving average is. Ooh, look at that, guys. We are actually being supported right now by the weekly 200 moving average. So the Bitcoin pairing on the macro perspective actually looks fairly decent. We have bounced off of it, and it does look pretty good. So we do like that. That is a +1 for the bulls, guys. So the BTC pairing actually looks pretty good because we were bouncing off the weekly, and it looks like we're consolidating preparing for a breakout potentially, get above the daily 200 moving average, right? Now, preferably what you want to see is if you want to try to trade this, you wait for the breakout, wait for the retest, and then you can trade the continuation, right? So if you could start showing some high volume movement after getting above this level, then that's your confirmation that this is going to keep going. And ultimately, I would expect us to reach this level right here. Then, if we can get above there, target up here, right? Basically how it works, guys. You just play level to level, one step at a time. All right. Hope that makes sense. Let's go to the next thing. So the next one we're gonna look at is for trend lines, right? Trend lines are also very important. And on this chart specifically, there's actually a very important one that I think looks extraordinarily bullish. Okay, but let's go ahead and draw that out for you guys. So this right here is a trend line that can very easily be formed on Cardano. Very easy to be formed on Cardano. Let me go ahead and draw that a little different. That's there. On there correctly. See if that's the right level. Lower time frame makes it very clean. Yep. This is it. Perfect. All right, you guys can see that, okay? And obviously up here it gets a little bit rougher, but even then, you can see how it's very clearly rejecting off of it. So this trend line on the top side makes a ton of sense, okay? The interaction, how we just constantly bounced up on it, very, very good. And the cool part is, see what happened here? We got above it, just like I talked about the 200 moving average, or the moving average is what you want to see. It got above it, came back down, retested it, and then continued going back up, right? And this is the 4-hour 200 moving average, right? And what happened over here? Came back down, retested the 4-hour 200 moving average, and what happened after that? Kept going up, okay? 200 moving averages are so incredibly important. It cannot be understated, guys. So looks very, very good. All right, so this low time frame on Cardano looks really, really good. Now, there's another level as well, okay? This is another trend line. Find it real quick. What was it right here? Basically it. It's not as clean, but you guys can see, I think it's still pretty damn accurate. You guys can see how we formed it. We formed it. Back over here, we had a rounded bottom into it. We had a capitulation wick right into it. Lost it, okay? But after we lost it, we reclaimed it very aggressively. Rounded bottom into it, up above it. So this is actually called a falling wedge pattern, the very high time frame, right? This falling wedge is a bullish structure, and generally they break to the upside. And whenever they do, they usually go pretty aggressively. So as you guys can see, Cardano has been doing really, really good over the last couple of weeks relative to the rest of the market. And why is that? Because of this right here, because this falling wedge was able to break above, retest, continuation back up. This looks really, really strong, guys. So now the biggest issues I have with this chart right now is the volume. Volume is relatively low. You want to see more volume for an acceleration, right? However, if we can get above the 200 moving average and we are able to retest it and it starts continuing up, I think the volume is going to come in a big way at that time. Okay. Again, one step at a time. We're not there yet. But if we can get above the 200 moving average, this can absolutely accelerate in a really, really massive way. All right. But yeah, this looks really good, guys. Like, I'm very impressed by how well ADA has held up over the last few weeks. It looks really good. Really impressed by it. So, all right, let's go over to the USDT pairing. See if we have anything similar. I'm actually not aware of any major trend lines that are forming on the macro perspective. Really, just the BTC pairing one. So the BTC pairing looks really, really good for this chart. Okay, very, very healthy. The USD pairing or the USDT pairing looks okay, but not great. Okay, it looks okay, but not great. I believe there's a trend line over here. There we go. You guys can see if we can bust above here, is it safe to say it'd be a very explosive movement? I think so, guys. So you guys can see we can bust above here, which we tried down here. We weren't able to do so, right? If we can actually get above this level, this could be a very explosive movement, and this could absolutely signal a major reversal on this coin. And if we have something that also coincides with the BTC pairing, this can absolutely start really reclaiming these levels in a hurry, right? So essentially what we look for is if we break above here, okay, I'd be looking to buy a little bit in the breakout, looking to buy a little more on the retest, right? If you get some sort of you draw that. If we get a little retest down here, you're looking to rebuy down there, okay? And as you come up here, right, 200 daily moving average, what do you think I'm going to do? Start selling a little off right there. We retest this breaker. What do you want to do again? Sell a little more off right there, right? So you sell some of your position right here. Then you either reject, right, which is possible, or maybe you come up here and you start flagging out, right? Make some sort of a maybe a bull flag, or maybe it turns into some sort of a ascending triangle, right? Ascending triangle where it breaks to the upside, right? You can wait for the breakout, or you can also, or you can try to anticipate the breakout. You know, obviously that's pretty dangerous, but you could do that. Or the more safe option is let it break out and come back down and buy the retest for a continuation back up. Okay. And you basically do this all the way up, guys. And so then as it comes back up here and it starts consolidating again, what do? Right? You're adding more position up there. And when it comes up here, what do you want to do? Sell some position, right? Just like we talked about before. Exact same thing, guys. This is basically how this works when you go to level to level on this on trading on these coins. So let's see, what else? Now, obviously, guys, none of this is what I'm telling you guys is financial advice. This is just what I do. This is my strategy on how I play these coins. But it works out. So it's worked out for me really well. Now, if we are to come back down here, okay, look, we have the support right here, right? And remember, I really do hope you guys are taking notes and you are drawing these levels on your own charts. This is a daily level, isn't it? A little daily level right there. Could that be what's supporting our price right now? Very possible, right? I didn't expect this daily level to hold. I really was expecting, or I am expecting, us to eventually come back down here and revisit. But, you know, maybe that's all we're going to get. So, because the BTC pairing does look so good, maybe we're never actually going to come back down here. But if we are given the opportunity, it does come back down here, right? What are you going to do? This is a support level, right? So as it comes in this level, you're looking for some sort of bullish market structure, right? So essentially what you're looking for is some sort of a low to be set, a high, a higher low, and then breakout, right? This breakout right here, this is where you want to be looking to add positions at, right? So essentially you're adding here. When it comes back down, you're adding again. And when you break out again, you're adding some more, right? And of course, if you do eventually get back above this level, right? Same thing. You add here, add here, add here, right? That's how you play this, guys. One step at a time, all the way up, okay? Now, if you come up here, and let's say you come back above it, come back for the retest, and it fails, right? That is definitely concerning, right? You don't want that to happen. So instead of adding here, come back up here and you sell some right here, right? And maybe get another entry down here before the real actual true breakout. Either way, though, guys, one step at a time. These levels I'm drawing on here are very important. Do not make sure you guys have them listed. Now, ADA is one of those coins that we actually do cover quite a bit on this channel. If you guys go over here, we have an ADA section, and it covers it. I've been talking about this for the last year or so, right? A lot of the same things. Here's the falling wedge. There's all different things on there happening back in 15 days ago before the breakout. You guys see this? Before the actual breakout happened, we were looking at this potential falling wedge breakout, right? So there you go, right here. Same thing. This was almost a month ago. Falling wedge, we're still looking at it. And as you guys know, it did actually take off. But on this Discord server, we go over many different coins. We do cover a lot of these. Now, you can go over here and you can also check out our actual plays. We have 6 traders on our channel that we all post our plays and positions and things like that. There's mine today, right? So we go through here and we really give you guys all really good information. Now, generally, it costs money to be in this Discord. However, for the next 10 days, it's actually free. So you guys are welcome to join the Discord for entirely for free. You have full access to everything, and you can see if it's something you want to get into. So make sure to check that out. The link is in the description. Yeah, ADA has a lot of possibility, guys, and I'm showing you guys exactly what to look for and how to play this. So yeah, I'll let you guys go. Have a great night, and I will see you guys in the next one. Like always, not financial advice, and deuces, boys, out.